a sip of my tea. Hello and welcome to the Sofa of Adam, the Tea Break Podcast, episode 002. I know, I'm excited too. With me, Adam and Mike.
Hey, it's good to be here.
It is good to be here. We're very happy to be here. We've got a couple of bits of news, like for instance, we now have segments.
Yeah.
We do news and what's coming out this week. We're going to read some comments and some subs. Also, just some notes from the channel. We are putting a lot of work into this, but videos now go up at 12 o'clock on the dot every day. If they're not up on the day, it'll be every other day, but the podcast should be weekly, shouldn't it? The podcast that we're doing right now.
Unless something major happens.
Unless something major happens, because, you know, internet, that can be a problem.
No, I just meant like any big event, you know.
Well,
something like really big.
For me,
out.
the internet cutting out is a pretty big event, I've got to be honest. Also, we've got somebody working on some special things for this channel. Taylor's doing more. He's doing us an actual podcast
Ooh.
introduction thing, because my attempt at editing the video is good,
but not great.
It's not great. It could be better. Also, thank you to everyone for turning up. We've got lots of subs to read out at the end. As always, we will be answering your comments at the end of the show, so do hang around for that. But first, it's time for this week's first segment, this week's news in games, because there's quite a few things that have happened this week that have caught our eye, and we'll go through them one by one. First, in the news, Minecraft's marketplace creators have made $1 million, which is yay for them. I don't actually know anything about it, though. I've never heard of the marketplace. We played Minecraft for a bit, though, didn't we? I had it on.
We played it for a while.
We played it for a few years. We made a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We got in there like everybody else. I mean, I played it recently on PC, and it had like rabbits and things. I was blown away, to be fair. They're adding wings.
So to be fair, the PlayStation one's got rabbits now.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I don't think last time I played it on console it had those updates. It was all like it's pretty basic. They keep adding things all the time, really. I don't know. I don't keep up with Minecraft. I don't even know. I've never come across a marketplace or any place where you make mods officially and sell them. So good for them, though, making £1 million or $1 million, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be dollars.
It's a milestone. So good for them. Good for them. Number 2 on the news is that Resident Evil 7, Not a Hero, the DLC with Chris Redfield, that's free, and that comes out soon. I think that's out this week, next week. We're not quite sure on the date for that. It's out very soon, I know that. The End of Zoe DLC. Oh no, these are all on December 15th. I have got it written down. December 15th,
if
all
I
of this comes out.
If I remember correctly, isn't the End of Zoe...
The End of the Zoe DLC, that's paid, yeah, that's 15 quid. And then we've got the Gold Edition coming out as well, which I assume
Christmas.
Has everything. Yeah. All of that. All the DLCs.
Wait for the Gold Editions.
Yeah, I might wait for the Gold Edition before I buy it myself, because we've borrowed our copy.
Yeah.
But either way, we're doing that on the channel, actually. If you haven't noticed, we're playing Resident Evil, or I am. Mike's sitting and laughing at me. He's quite enjoying it as much as everybody at home is, I would have thought. But we're really enjoying that. And it's good to have DLC. The ones they've got in it are already quite good.
Yeah.
I like the room one.
I will admit, their DLC is rather good compared to most.
Yeah. The bed thing, where you're in a bed? No, you're sat in the chair, aren't you? And she's bringing you food.
No, you're in a bed.
No, you are in a bed. Yeah, you're chained to the bed, and then she brings you food, and you have to sort of puzzle your way out without disturbing everything.
Yeah.
That's really good. That bit I've had a go at, and we've played a bit of, that was fucking terrifying.
Yes.
I'm too easily scared. Yeah. I don't know why I do it. Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs was the same thing. I'm going to play this, and everyone goes, "You'll never finish that." And I did finish it.
No, you didn't, but I did.
I forgot you did the ending. Yeah, but I wasn't going to walk up that fucking plinth thing. Right at the end of Amnesia, you've got it goes down that sort of sewer bit, and then all the children are like stood at the edge of the sewer. Spoilers, by the way. And they're all looking down, and then you end up walking up the sort of Aztec bit. And I just went, no, this is too much. Anything can happen. It's just been a straight corridor for too long. So blatantly something's just going to happen and the game's going to end. You can do this for me, Mike. I'm putting the kettle on. No, I do remember that. Number 3 on the news is a brand new game that we don't know if it's on PS4 yet. We've not heard anything, but it caught my eye so much that I have to talk about it, and it's called Scorn. There's some gameplay up, which is quite nice, on IGN and I think on GameSpot.
Is that the Geiger one?
Yes. it caught my eye because I'm a real fan of H.R. Geiger's paintings and that sort of thing. Anyway, Mike knows this. Around us right now in
didn't
this
he do
room.
Alien?
I loved it. Yeah, he did the Alien
Artwork. type thing.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky because basically H.R. Geiger did loads of artwork about his dreams, and he would paint because he suffered from night terrors. You probably know this, but
Yeah.
for the people at home, he suffered from night terrors, which so you'd wake up, but you're not really awake. You're kind of semi-conscious,
Lucid dreaming.
very, very lucid, but you're walking around. So basically, a part of your brain's still asleep. So you don't know you're awake, but you're walking around and in your own house and basically hallucinating. And you can't be woken up. You can't. It doesn't work. Like you can shake someone, but they are still asleep, but they're awake. And I used to have that when I was a kid, and I grew out of it. It's quite rare. So people who walked around isn't the same. If you think you just had that, you don't. If you weren't diagnosed with, night terrors, then you didn't have it. But that meant that he would paint these incredibly vivid, very, very, very morbid and slightly erotic things. Lots and lots of long, stretchy parts of people and very thin, tight other parts of other people. And it was all built into like walls of buildings and like alien. Yeah, if you've seen any of the Alien films, the way the ship looks, that sort of bones in the wall, dripping ceiling, the way the egg looks. The first Alien film, the way the inside of the ship that they find all the eggs on, that is his painting. It is literally, the pilot, the picture of the pilot, or the pilot in the Alien films, the guy with in the seat with the thing out the ceiling clipped into his skull, that is a painting. And when they first saw the painting, they went, oh, he can be the pilot. We'll make that into a real set. So that was fascinating for me. But this new game coming out is by that artist. So it all looks like that. It all looks like the Alien interior ships. But it's on Kickstarter, and it's just weird. You just walk around. It reminds me a lot of Soma. You saw some gameplay.
Yeah, it reminds me of very much that Amnesia type. It's almost walking simulator.
Yeah, it did look like a walking sim. Good, that's a good word for it. It looked like a walking sim because although you had a gun and it looked a bit doomy, not all of the monsters were attacking. And I had a little look into it onto the actual Kickstarter page to read what the game was about to the people that are paying for it. And they were going on about how some of the AI can run, some of them are your friends, some of them are your foes, and it's like there's these little tiny, do you call them? They look like, is it Tweety? Tweety Bird from
Looney Tunes.
From Looney Tunes? It looks like two of those stuck on end to end, but they're both alive, or one's dead and one's alive, and they've got like a round mouth. But other than that, that's a pretty good description. And they just sort of claw around on the floor looking like they're in agony and looking slightly adorable in a kind of disgusting way. But they just sort of wander up to you and they can poke you. You can shoot them, but the ones nearby will turn on you. But there's nothing, they sort of just do things. And one of them kind of came over to him and sort of sniffed him. They're not just like passing interactions. They look like they're meant to build up this sort of
tension.
Yeah, this sort of alien world, the tension of the atmosphere of the outer rims of the universe. I don't know quite what to call it because I don't know where it's set. It looks like a Geiger painting. I almost thought it was another Alien game when I saw it, because I saw it and went, that's H.R. Geiger, that's Alien all over. That must be a new Alien game someone's working on. I don't think it is. I think it's completely separate.
Oh.
But either way, that really caught my eye, so that's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
That is one to look forward to.
Number 4 on the news. Riggs is out.
Yes.
Here we played it. We've got another episode of that going up soon. That was not up at the moment. It might be by the time you're listening to this. You never know. I don't know how time is relative and timey-wimey. But it's free if you've got a PS Plus. And we have noticed, obviously, that there's been a lot of complaints about people going, it's not really free because you have to get PS Plus to play it. But after having been in, it does have an offline mode. So we're a bit miffed on that because we thought it was online only. So everybody complaining and going, well, you have to pay for PS Plus to get this game, but you have to be online to play the game anyway. I thought, well, if you have to be online to play it, you have to have Plus to play it anyway. So never mind. So it's like it's like going on World War Toons and going, I know we said this last time, but it's like going on World War Toons, which is an entirely online FPS, and going, I don't want to play this online. Well, you can't. It's an online game. I thought Riggs was the same, but it does have offline modes. So I feel like maybe they should have split it up a bit and done it in sections or something. Because after I've played it, it's quite tricky. It's a very difficult game to master.
Yeah, no, I won't disagree there.
I'm starting,
I'm still learning how the rules are based.
Yeah, but it is quite disorientating. I didn't think it would be. Because I'm really good at VR. I like to think that I love it. There's no game I cannot play. I got in rigs, I had to go for a bit, and I didn't feel ill or anything at all, but I was struggling to play the game. I was struggling to physically think about where these people were, what I had to do, and then actually playing it. It was difficult. So I don't know if maybe that was the best choice to put out first.
Well, I did say this last time.
I know you did, but we hadn't played it. We'd only played a bit. But it is very dense. That is a game I will need to work up to. I'm not in any way saying it's a bad game. It's awesome. But I feel like maybe there probably was a lighter-hearted game that they could have done for free.
That they could have got, like, Werewolves Within or
Werewolves Within. I would rather, now you've said that, I would way rather have had that and be playing that online with people with my Plus.
Yeah.
Than going on rigs. Because trying rigs was just stressful.
Yeah.
For a bit. I'll play it again and we'll get better at it. But, you know, that's it's interesting. It's interesting. But at least that's out now. So if you've got PS Plus, go get it. It's free. You've got no excuse. If you've got a VR headset and Plus, you haven't got this, then you failed yourself.
If Sony does carry on with its like free VR game, I hope they eventually get round to that Batman VR game.
That'd be good.
I wouldn't mind doing it if it was free. I wouldn't mind paying it for such a short experience.
No, that would be good actually. I wouldn't mind the Batman. But I thought the Batman thing was free.
No, it's paid.
Is it? Spider-Man one's free.
Spider-Man one's free.
Have you done that?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. I haven't got round to it yet.
Maybe we could do that for an episode, and you could do one yourself.
Ooh.
You could have one all about yourself, and you could do the Spider-Man one. Because I'm not really into those ones. I haven't played them or downloaded them. I've no idea. I haven't tried the Batman one. I've glanced at the Spider-Man one, and even though it's free, I haven't touched it. So I've got no bearing on it. I didn't do the Tomb Raider one either, which I feel like is probably...
There's a Tomb Raider one?
There's like a Tomb Raider walkie around her mansion one.
Oh, okay. Isn't that tied to the game, though?
No, I don't know, I think you could get it by itself, but I haven't done it anyway, and I think that's the most similar VR. If you're going to disregard the game it comes with then, but as an experience all of its own, it's walking around the mansion doing her stuff. So is the Batman one, that's walking around the Batcave and doing Batman stuff, and the Spider-Man's being Spider-Man doing Spider-Man stuff. So I feel like those are smaller experiences, but they're too small. I've never even glanced twice at them and been interested. But yeah, we should probably work on getting one of them, just so that we can see what it's like and get a review up. Because I'm curious now you've mentioned it. You could certainly you'd enjoy that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd enjoy it. I mean, come on, I'll be Batman.
Yeah, you like Batman.
Batman.
Yeah, it's true. But what is in it? Is there anything that you're missing? What would you rather they did then, as far as... What would you look for in a little PSVR experience, like the Batman one or the Spider-Man one?
Well, so the thing is, as you said, because these are little experiences, and two of them are practically you're wandering around the Batcave, you're playing with the computer, you're looking at items in the cave, and similar with Spider-Man, you're going around taking pictures of New York and swinging from rooftops.
Just doing things that I can't do in real life, so I can appreciate that. But if you were gonna look for, say they do an Avengers thing,
but they're I was going to say continuing, but they're sort of 10 a penny. You can just slap on another skin, and for a developer, that'd be easy for them to do.
I don't know if that's a good thing though.
But those little one-off little experiences, because I doubt we're going to get another Batman Arkham VR 2. Explore the other part of the Batcave.
That's a good point. That's a good point. They are one-offs. It's not like they can do anything with it afterwards. There's not going to be a Spider-Man VR 2.
No.
So that means they're probably not interested in it. So it's sort of a
novelty niche thing.
Yeah, that's interesting though. That's interesting. I do wonder what they'll come out with next. As far as that sort of thing.
I do hope they do sort of continue with the Batman, Spider-Man, though, with just a larger VR experience. You know, do the Batcave, and maybe Bruce Manor, Wayne Manor as well. Maybe a bit of Gotham.
No, that's true. I would enjoy it, because I like the comics, I like Batman, But just walking, I don't know, it just doesn't appeal to me at all. You'd think it would, because VR's amazing. It's intense, and you're there, and
It's very much walk a mile in another man's shoes.
Yeah, exactly. You can't get any more there as somebody else. But it just doesn't appeal to me at all. Being somebody else for a small period of time has never appealed.
Well, it's not live. It's
I don't know how
not
to put it though.
LARPing.
These small
it's VR
LARPing in
roleplay.
VR. Bit of VR role play. See, I don't know. See if they said do a film like that, almost role playing, like a holodeck, and they go.
Almost like in Ready Player One, where you had to like reenact certain parts of the scene to get the key.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Ready Player One, where in the book he has to recreate scenes from films, because they're not going to know. Or
No.
they might do. If you do know, write in the comments, because we'll be impressed if people have read Ready Player One. That's coming out next year. It's a great film. We'll talk about that at some point when we're nearer the time. Close to the time. But in that, he's basically set a challenge where he's put into what equates to VR today, and some people appear around him, and they're all characters from a
film from the 80s.
A film from the 80s that he likes, like Friends for now. So all the Friends characters appear.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah, all different sorts of things, and you have to then reenact along with them what happens in the film. So you're not breaking the fourth wall, and you're not playing anything. People walk up to you and go, no, whatever, and then you have to reply the way that the person in the film replied.
Would have replied.
Yeah, so that you can sort of reenact a scene from a film.
So,
I'd quite like that. So giving me a scene from a film and going, you can walk around it, maybe not quite as rigid as that, going, you have to do everything.
No.
But going, here's a film, do you want to walk around?
For the vibe version, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that might work. You see, like, say, like Avengers Age of Ultron, that bit when they're all in the dome, the Sistine Chapel dome, and it's all blowing up, and they're all jumping forwards for that dramatic pose of them all about to collide in the centre.
Yeah.
That room, say, walk around it whilst they're having a fight, and it lasts 5 minutes, because that's how long the fight lasts or whatever, and then you can go back to the beginning and you can have a look at other things. So it's like you can watch someone get shot in the back that you don't see in the film because it happens in the background, out of shot. You can stick your head out the window and go, look, just before they did this, you can see out the window, I can see the rocket breaking that they go and fix in a minute. See, that would be quite good, sort of, because you could just kick those out, go, you could do them an episode, you could do a whole film that way.
Well, hopefully, if VR definitely takes off, we might see a shift to that sort of media.
That would be really cool, though. I'm actually
But
really...
VR...
that would be really interesting to get more movies and things involved, because it's very games. So, you know, you've got Telltale, which is moving more and more towards, like, films and sort of making your own decisions in movies. I don't see why movies haven't taken a nod on the head and gone, why haven't
we made our movies a bit more interactive?
Yeah, exactly. Why can't we... It's a bit tricky, though, because not all films could be. I'm not going to sit here and say, all films from now on should have an interactive element.
Yeah.
But I don't see why the next Spider-Man film shouldn't have a game that comes along with it that's just a VR experience of the film.
Yeah.
Nothing else, nothing weird and spin-offy, but just go, with the film, you get a little, on the back of your ticket, it's a code, and if you've got a VR headset at home, you can go and play certain sections of the film and just watch them again, but be there. It would probably be really bad CGI, and it wouldn't be an actual scene from the film at all. But you could sit on the train while Peter Parker rescues it, or... Yeah, that'd be cool, seeing things from other points of view.
From a different perspective. So
I'd like that. That would really appeal to me. If that popped up on the marketplace,
that would be cool, yeah.
I'm there. That'd be worth the cash, I think. Next, out this week. We're going to go through all the games that are coming out this week or out this week. Got Destiny 2. Early impressions are good across the board. There haven't really been that many reviews.
I've never Destiny. So.
No, you haven't Destiny. I've seen Dylan play it. I've seen Jake play it. I remember seeing a lot of the motorbike. I like the motorbike. There's like a speeder bike. Almost identical to a speeder bike, actually, but you can drive that around. But I don't remember being able to do much with it. It was a very enclosed, segmented game. It was very area-to-area based. It was very repetitive. The new one does look more interesting. It's an open world. There's all sorts of little things they've added in. They've tried to get all the raids, like on World of Warcraft now. You've got like big raids. You can get your mates together. You can go a clan, like
A guild.
like a guild, like in GTA. Basically, you go onto their website, onto the Bungie website, and you put all your details in. You join your mates together, and you can make a flag or whatever a symbol or a glowing rune or whatever it is.
A thing that indicates your group.
Your patronage to the group and system. Yes,
Yeah.
whatever it is that symbolically brings you all together. You can make one of those for Destiny now. They've added custom parts for your exotic weapons. Those purple, like the purple weapons with a purple name. The best of the... I know, but it goes up in colour on Destiny. So it goes like green. Like Borderlands.
So RPG for babies, if they got to do it in colours.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, when you get the weapon, it's written in a certain colour.
Yeah.
So you know how strong it is. But now the new exotic weapons have their own customisable parts, which I quite liked. So if you come across somebody with the same gun, at least it won't be identical. Yours will stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too bad. They've added live quests, which basically means that when you're exploring the open world, inverted quotation marks. You can't see them, but I'm doing quotation marks because I don't know what their idea of open world is. But their open world has these live events where you'll be wandering through with your mates and something will go off and a little beacon and you'll go, oh, there's something happening over there. So you wander over and there'll be 10 of you that were near enough at the time to interact with this random boss.
So almost like in GTA where you're driving along and all of a sudden someone screams out, oh, that man stole my purse, you get the purse, you give it back to lady.
That's a very weird example, but you're not wrong. Basically we get a little dot, I suppose, and you wander to it. But I suppose in Destiny it's going to be a bit more like... Morrowind Online, Skyrim Online, whatever it was.
Elder Scrolls
Online. Elder Scrolls Online had that, where you had those like beacons that would light up the sky in a big beam of light, and everyone nearby would go running to it to fight off the demon that came through that portal.
Yeah.
It's more like that, just randomly appearing events. So that's something. They've completely overhauled the loot, so it's nothing like any other game now. They've got this whole new loot system in play where... There's been a bit of hoo-ha about pay to play and pay to winning on that, but there's loot that has guns that have perks that affect your character. So you can get a gun part for your gun that's like an exotic gun part, or I think they're blue now. Not that it matters, but for the people at home, they're blue. And those bits give your characters like power-ups, so it's like +2 running if you've got this bit of a gun.
Okay.
But that's not... Some people aren't too happy about that because you can buy those parts. So if you buy enough of them, I guess you could do your character up without playing. I don't know, but I guess that's not by the by.
I was going to say, but assuming that's only going to be a short-term advantage, because assuming things get better or worse... I mean,
that's
I've never
true,
Destinied, but I assume things get better.
Yeah, that's true. I know what you mean. Like, if you were to do it now... In a few days of playing, whatever you've got won't matter because you'll have leveled your character up and it'll be old hat and you'll need to sell it.
Yeah.
So technically, nothing you could buy would give you a long-term advantage. So you've got a point, really. So I can see why it's one of them. I've seen people complaining, so I felt like I should mention it. There's now factions.
Factions. Okay, so
there's
groups.
factions. There's basically factions in the world itself, so you can like align with.
I was going to say, are they like you can align with somebody, or are they just part of the background, like in Skyrim?
I think they're part of the background, like Skyrim. I think you can align with them still. You can join a faction. I don't know if you can change or whatever, but they are definitely there. They're part of this brand new full storyline where you've lost the light and the Citadel has fallen. I think it's called the Citadel. I'll be disappointed with myself if I find out afterwards it's not. Because it sounds... Citadel sounds right. I think it's called the Citadel, and that's fallen, so they're all a bit miffed, and they've got to go and rekindle the light, which sounds very Dark Souls-y to me. Next up, Knack 2 is out.
Another one I've not played.
Never played Knack 1?
No.
Not even a little bit? Oh, it wasn't horrendous. When it first came out, the first one, it was really underwhelming. It wasn't like mind-blowing. It came out for the first PS4 game, basically. It was a release game. It has a small fan base. It's not got that many people who love it, but there are people who love Knack. So they've managed to get out a Knack 2. It's been getting sort of a fair 7 out of 10 everywhere, mainly. Not huge scores, but not terrible scores. I've read a few reviews like Game Critic and they've given it 7, and IGN gave it. I'm not sure what IGN gave it actually. Let me have a look. Did I write down what IGN gave it? No, I didn't. Just 7s across the board, really. Everywhere I looked is what I've written, so that's probably about right. Next, for coming out this week, we've got the ones on PSVR. Bit quicker, because there's not so many details on these, because they're VR games. No one's reviewed them. The blurbs on the PS Store are 4 lines of dialogue, which tell me absolutely nothing. Par exemplar, Songbringer, sci-fi action RPG. Thank you, PlayStation. There's The Lost Bear, which is a semi-point-and-click panoramic view thing. That we saw, didn't we? It's like looking at a cutout. It's like being sat in a room with a big ribbon around you, and then you're looking, like you're sat in a stretchy theatre. A theatre that's 360 degrees, and then it's like shadow puppetry, basically, isn't it? Sort of cut and dry. What was that game where you walked around and you had to... Don't Starve. It looks just like Don't Starve. It looks a little cut-out people. They look like they're made of paper. And it looks like you're sort of directing this boy with his teddy bear around an environment, and you're going in a big circle, basically. So it sort of moves as things happen, and a bit like Mario, you're walking to the right and the world seems to move, but you stay still.
Okay.
I'm not too sure what it's about, but it looks a bit like Frambo or Don't Starve, really. That's my best description of something I've not yet really seen much of, and the reviews have been just as vague, really. We got Senko no Ronde, which is not even that. Senko no Ronde 2. Not that I don't even know what that is. Bullet Hell Fighting Hybrid, which is I've seen a clip of it. Basically 2D side scroller. You've got a gun, you've got some characters, and they fight each other, and it's a sort of bullet hell, but you're also fighting them. So that's where that description comes from.
Okay.
You've got Don't Knock Twice, which is a horror game, which is also out, which if you don't know about on PSVR, you've kind of missed it, but it's basically Resident Evil, basically Silent Hill PT, basically that new thing, the Paranormal Activity, somewhere in between, walking through a derelict house, or a house with certainly hasn't got anybody in it, and crazy goings on take place. So if you like a horror, go and have a look at that. And on the Lonely Vita, we have a couple of releases this week as well. Licky the Lucky Lizard Lives Again. Too many L's. That's just ridiculous. And Utu Wareru Mono, Mask of Truth. It's just the Japanese, right? They just can't. What's wrong with renaming something? Shuhei Yoshida, why? Why do you do this to us? And Drive Girls, which is a hack and slash where girls turn into cars and battle for supremacy. No, you can't make that face. We saw a clip of this where it's basically, the new Dragon Ball Z fighting game. It looks like that, but they do the Transformers sort of fold away, and then they sort of shoot guns, and then they turn back into themselves.
Okay.
But they've got like the shoulder pad. They literally look like Transformer people. Like a shoulder pad would be a bit of a wheel hub, and then they fold away again. It was very funny. I saw somebody playing it on the internet, and it made me laugh. It was very amusing, but
Why?
It's not going to appeal to everybody, though, is it?
No.
No, it's probably not. And that wraps up all of the games out this week. Next, we have some chat of ourselves.
Yeah.
Don't we? We've got some stuff to talk about. You're here to talk about... What are you here to talk about this week?
Monster Hunter World.
You're going to talk about Monster Hunter. So you've got Monster Hunter, but first up, we have BIOMUTANT. It was a bit of a surprise at Gamescom. We saw a lot on this, haven't we? It's been popping up all over the place. We saw some gameplay that they saw at Access as well. That was pretty cool. Impressed them. Game. Yeah, it's very pretty. What did you think?
Wow. I did like it. I thought the environments were vast and varied from what we saw.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. I'm actually quite excited for this one.
Yeah, it looks very Devil May Cry, the actual combat, which really appeals to me.
Well, I read, I wouldn't say just review, but it was like the description. It's sort of a kung fu like fable.
Kung Fu Fable. Yeah, okay. That's an interesting... I've not heard that before. That's not one I've come across, but I can see why. Because it looks like a sort of fantasy RPG, but it's got that sort of... Yeah, with martial arts combat. I say martial arts. I'd almost compare it to like Kingdom Hearts. It looked very... You sort of jump to somebody. Your sword is as much a part of the combat as your fists are. It was very slicey, very, very, very fluid and pretty. It's all about the Tree of Life. The actual storyline is anyway.
Yeah.
And it's dying, and you have to save it if you want to. You don't have to, but you can do. So it's completely open-ended. So you don't have to save the tree. So the game carries on if you don't save it. Which is really interesting, I thought. You know, there's like 5 routes basically, and each route is split into 5 segments. And there are like these things called like nanos, which can save it and cure it. And they cure the tree, and you can bring it back to life, and that'll be one ending. But it's got this whole karma system built into it, basically. But if you go and pick some flowers, that would lose karma as well. But if you were to plant flowers, you'd gain karma. So it's literally every little thing can add up. A bit like Black and White or Black and White 2, which is just really... I love that idea. The fact that you can like have that many endings attached to a karma system. So there's 6 tribes as well, and then there's 6 routes, and each route has 6 segments. So that's like 20 endings if you want to go down the route of, say, the game adds it up and goes, right, you've got this tribe and this route. That's one ending. You've got 2 routes and 2 tribes. That's this ending. You've got 3 routes and 3 tribes alive. That's this ending. You know, sort of that sort of Boolean logic. There should be a lot of endings if they're going to match them up that way. And all the tribes, obviously, you can do sort of a Shadow of Mordor by the seams of it. Each tribe can be overthrown, or you can put someone in charge, or you can get them to kill each other, or you can make peace. I love that. That really appeals to me. Did it not appeal to you?
No, it does. It very does. I'm waiting for the release date myself. But it does.
So I thought you liked Jak and Daxter and things.
No, yeah, definitely. I love Jak and Daxter. The platforming in the game was very cool. From what I saw of it, was tight.
Yeah.
There was a bit of platforming, not much.
No, I didn't see much platforming in it. There were bits of platforming. It looks like it's sort of got a sort of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes. All it needed was a giant robot dinosaur, and you could quite easily confuse the games. The environments looked that vast screen.
It was very vast, very green, very, very, very lavish and beautiful and engraved, and every rock
all it
had been
needed was
sculpted.
a robot dinosaur, and it could have been...
Yeah, you could have got the 2 confused. I would have. If someone had put a robot dinosaur in the background somewhere, I would have seen the trailer.
But I'm looking forward to the mechs.
Oh yeah, there's
the
mech suits. Yeah, you got the mech suits and the boats.
The Adam family hand.
The Adams, the hand that you can ride. It's like a...
And sort of shoots.
Yeah, I don't know what the shooting was about. I don't know if that actually does shoot, or if that's just an emoticon.
I don't know, but I can't wait.
It looked good. I don't know if I'll use the hand. Personally, that doesn't appeal to me, but
Who knows,
I've seen
you might
the
not
airship.
even find it.
No, but I've seen the airship, which is awesome. The fact that you can fly around, open world, fly that yourself, full piloting. I'm just absolutely over the moon for that. It's also silent.
Well, yeah, but there is a narration.
Yeah, there's narration. Yeah, you got narration.
And I read that can be, like, depending on how you want it, you could react to everything you do, or, story-based narration.
Yeah, we've seen that in the options you can change that, can't you? You can say whether or not he talks about, literally, you walked through a door. Stanley stood up from his desk. Or whether it's just the main story points, so the actual plot. But the fact that nobody talks, not you, not anybody by the seams of it, or at least they don't speak in English. They're sort of...
animal language.
Yeah, sort of garble. Looks like you're watching a Sims game, basically. Sims being narrated. But they look funny. It looks funny. I'll give it that.
And one thing I do like is the character creation.
Oh yeah,
where you can sort of literally mutate yourself into what you look like, and how the fur changes, and not just how the fur changes the fur type.
Yeah, that's true.
So
literally everything.
You can imagine like a big fluffy fox creature wielding 2 swords.
Oh, I can't wait. I like the upgrade system as well, because I saw a bit of that, and basically you've got 4 slots, and you can get a different number of things to put in them. So you could there's like biomutations, which are like physical. So you like punch bigger, make yourself taller, have wings that are physically there. So I think you might be able to fly yourself if you want. I mean, you can have wings on your back. I mean, you mutate. That's the whole point. So you can have those. You can have sort of psi mutations, which you find in game by looking for like these radioactive bunkers.
Okay.
You find these little markers, and they give you a psi mutation, and they're like mental. So that's like telekinesis.
Yeah, becoming
stuff.
Charles Xavier.
Yes, literally that sort of thing. Then there's electricity as well, and there's lots of others. I won't go through all of them, but there's like electricity, so you can be like basically Darth Sidious.
Yeah.
Electrocute somebody, and you see their skeleton. But you've got 4 slots, and you can interchange them all. So you could have 4 electricity mutations and just be lightning itself, the embodiment of weather. Or you could just have 2 of each and be like, half physical, have like some wings and punch some people, and also be telekinetic and throw stuff across the room.
Oh, okay.
So I like that mix and matchable about it. It's completely open world, like Horizon. I mean, we've mentioned that, but that is a really good idea. I like the concept. I really like the concept of that.
Yeah.
If you've got anything you want to add on that, to be fair, you should let us know, because we've not heard much. We're going to keep an eye on it, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep an eye on it anyway. I'm going to keep an eye out for any bosses or real storyline that comes out of Biomutant, because we don't know when it's out. I think it's next year. I think they said it was Q3, but that means we don't know when it's out. So it's out this time next year, which doesn't really help us. Something that is coming out sooner, however, something is coming out for Christmas.
Early 2018.
Oh, is that when? Oh, never mind. Well, coming out also 2018, but hopefully before Biomutant is
Monster Hunter World. And
Monster Hunter
it's roughly
World.
about the same time they'll be out. Well,
Yeah.
Q3. Well, yeah, that time period. But no, yeah, it's a action role-playing game.
Yep.
Where you basically go out into the world and hunt monsters.
I've seen lots of gameplay from other people. My mates used to have it. Well,
Yeah.
again, something Jake had on his Vita. Hundreds of hours of gameplay.
No, well, yeah, there is
Hundreds.
hundreds of hours.
Hundreds.
The world is quite big as well, split into 7 large areas, and no loading screens between them.
Oh, okay.
Unlike previous titles where you'd go from one environment, almost like Dragon Age, you'd go from one environment, loading screen, load in. This is no loading screen. It's
Anywhere.
As far as I'm aware, from what
That's
I
very
read,
impressive.
the open world is. I can't say for buildings.
Interiors, buildings. That's fair enough. But no, that's quite cool.
And
'Cause
also,
I'm picturing like the new Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
I'm picturing that now, with like a huge open world and just hunting monsters all day, every day.
Yeah.
That is a very satisfying idea.
Yeah.
Depends.
And for it, I don't want to discredit the game because, with its simple gameplay loop, it's going to be beneficial for this sort of large game.
Not having loading screens means that you will be able to just keep going, so you won't get stuck anywhere, and you won't find yourself sort of having to sit,
bored.
getting bored, having to sit through loading screens, which is something that I know the first one had a problem with. To be fair,
Yeah.
I know what the loading screen to that game looks like. I can see it now, and I have never even owned it. I've seen so much of the loading screens and the menu screens. I know there's a hell of a lot of customization in that game.
No, also a fun fact: day and night weather, day and night, and the weather has an effect on the monsters.
Ooh.
So it's like you could probably see larger monsters out in the night or in the day hunting, and then they disappear at night.
That's cool.
Or a storm could set a bigger dinosaur monster off.
Dino monster thing
To attack, this herd of
whatever they
villagers.
Are. It reminds me of 12 a little bit. I would say 15, but I can't in wholeheartedness say that was better. The hunt system in 12, Final Fantasy 12, by the way, was better than the hunt system in 15, I think. But the hunt system in 12 was like that. Every single monster had like a time of day it was out. If there was a woman in your party or a bloke in your party or just you by yourself, it would come out. You had to go there at a certain time of day, or it had to be a sandstorm, or oh god, it was awful. But that sounds really good. If all I'm doing is hunting, it'd be really good to have to make like a little notepad and scribble down like, this one comes out at night, so I'll do this one, and this one while I'm there, because they all come out at night, and then I'll wait till the next morning, camp in the area, get the one that appears in the morning, and then go to the area across where I can get the raining one, if it's raining. If it's not raining, I'll go home.
But no, Capcom, I will go on to say that Capcom are very proud of their living ecosystem.
Right.
So I'm not exactly 100% on what that means, other than
guessing that's like
monsters will fight each other. Just they come across or probably attack or do something, and maybe there's a migration type thing.
Ecosystem.
So
a living ecosystem. So like you say, migrations, birds, things might
a dragon
move.
coming down, taking your hunt.
Yeah. I wonder what that means. If they're doing like, I wonder. I'm picturing. From what you've just said, I'm picturing them doing autumn and spring and summer and going, right, this in summer, all of the cow monsters are at the top of the map because that's where they live when it's warm. When it gets cold, they all move south where they hibernate in certain caves, or whatever. And you go, oh, how interesting. It's winter. I can hunt these really easily because they're hibernating at the moment. I just have to find a cave with the markings.
Yeah.
And find one. See, that's fascinating because I would love that. If that's true, I will almost lose my shit. That would be incredible.
No, and then the article I read went on to go on to mention 4 co-op online.
Okay.
4 co-op online players.
So we can play with our friends and 4 more. Do we know if there are bots or any AIs? I'm assuming you can take party members with you in game.
There is a single player mode.
Oh, okay. So basically, do we know if it's like is it like GTA or is it like a separate world or is it the same thing?
I'm not 100% because they said there's a story mode. They didn't go into much detail about.
I assume your friends can join your
party.
I
assume it's like GTA in the sense of it's the one map, but not the one map.
See, I have the opposite impression. I think it'll be one map, and that. It's more like
just like running around.
Well, no, I reckon it's more likely you won't all be online together. It's not like a Morpega. It's not World of Warcraft. I think it'll be more like you've got your single player storyline, and your mate can join your game as a party member.
It does go on to mention a drop-in, drop-out system.
Right. So they might have 2. They might have both. You're saying. Ooh.
To sort of help you on quests, they call it a red flag, so you can just like throw down a red flag, and someone who's in the area can come and help you all.
Oh, so maybe it is like World of Warcraft, where you put down people alive, so they're there all the time. Now I don't know. I don't like World of Warcraft as a gameplay mechanic. Being online all the time is a problem for me because of internet.
Yeah.
Here in the UK, internet's not very good all the time, to be honest. So,
No, and then the article went on to go on about they'll feature a story mode, so you can just play on your own if you desire. But then also Capcom also went on to add that after launch, they're going to start adding like mission DLCs like they did with, I think it was Monster Hunter Generations.
Oh yeah.
So they just like sort of little fun missions tacked on after launch, so they plan to support it.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea. So basically, free.
Yeah,
completely free. They're not going to be.
Well, they might change that like when closer to the time, but the article I read, it said it was free.
What does that mean in a game like this, though? I'm guessing that has to be like hunts.
Yeah,
it's going to be a new dinosaur that turns up one day for Christmas.
New quest line that
for the next 2 months, a new giant bird is in the map.
Yeah,
maybe things like that because they can't. I guess it has to be free so everybody can do it. Because if it's an online game, if it is like World of Warcraft, you can't give it to some and not to others. It's like, what's that giant bird? Where? I do not see it. Says the person without the DLC.
Yeah.
So they can't really start charging for things because they'll separate the player base, like you do with World of Warcraft every time they bring out a new
expansion
world. Next time the world shatters into pieces,
or a hole gets put on into
Exactly.
For the first time ever, the article was proud to say that it's going to feature cross-region co-op play. So us people in England can play online with people in Japan.
Oh, like the DS?
Yes.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that means that it's going to have one of those awful systems on the D-pad where you go, press up, and it goes, right on! And you press down and it goes, over here! Left is like, good job! Because obviously it's like all these different languages, so it'll have some generic... You're going to need a way for everyone to talk.
Communications.
Over here, the monster, downstairs. It's just like, have to customise all these different. Eventually, you'll be putting together paragraphs on a piece of paper with the up-down buttons. It'll be great. I'm quite looking forward to that now. I've always enjoyed those systems. I mean, yeah, they piss me right the hell off when you want to get something done.
But when people have done something creative,
it makes me laugh. It like RuneScape had that as well, and I used to love the chat system, so I wouldn't be completely against it. Meeting people from Japan and other countries is always a good thing. The more barriers that a game can break down, the better.
Yes.
Exactly. And finally, Our final segment.
Yes.
We're proud to have segments at all, aren't we?
Yes.
We've spent so long making sure that this is actually going to flow properly, because podcasts are actually quite tricky.
Yeah.
It's quite tricky, and we need to make sure that you're able to enjoy it. And it's easy to listen to and all that sort of nonsense. We do also have a MP3 version. I'll mention this again at the end, but in the description to all of our podcasts now, we put the MP3 link. It might take a few, if you read this within an hour of the podcast going up, it might not be there, but come back later in the day and there'll be a link there to download it. But either way, we're going on to our final segment, which is your subs and your comments, or our subs, which happens to be you, and your comments. So we've got IndieGamer06, who joined, Katie and Katie, that's Katy and Katie, just for some visual jokage there. It caught me out when I first read it. You've got Sam Graham, normal name, great. Conquer Live 101, who has left loads of comments, so I'm pleased to see that he's actually joined up. I'm very great to have you on board, man. And Roy H, or Roy, with ROHY. So Roy, it's quite a cool little symbol of a cat, actually. I like your picture.
I think it's the cat from The Night in the Woods.
Is it? It looks like the cat from... I'm looking at it and I see Persona 5. If you know what I mean. Looks like the Persona 5 animal.
I
cat.
can see why.
No, it doesn't matter. But either way, thank you to you all for being brand new subs. And now, for your comments. Very proud I can shuffle my papers. Comments! Turn on the news. Peter Neji. Peter Neji's? I think that's Neji. Looks like Neji. Peter Neji. I had to think of Naruto when I see Neji. But either way, he was saying that November 17th this year, is when Skyrim VR is coming out. Yes, we have checked. He's right. He's right,
we found it, but he's right.
Yes, it's not December.
No.
We had a good look. And it turns out literally yesterday, day before, that suddenly these dates popped up on all the English pages and everyone was going, oh, we're certain it's definitely the 17th. And we thought, we'll probably mention that in the next podcast. Yeah. And then Peter Neji put down the comment and I thought, well, fine, we'll mention it now. It's the 17th. Next, we've got from Conquer Live 101, again, woo! All I can say is prepare to get spooked. He's talking about our new Resident Evil 7 PSVR playthrough, which is quite amusing. I mean, I watched it back and I was laughing at myself because I scream like a little girl.
Yes.
When I'm scared. I am awful. I'm awful for horror. I don't know. I love it so much as well. I really like being scared. I'm a glutton for punishment. What can I say? I finished this game 5 times in VR mode, brave him, and no horror game comes close to this. VR is amazing for horror, and I agree. He's absolutely right. I just don't put myself through it.
You're
I really
a sadist.
don't. I really don't. Bit strong, but you have a point. Sig Collie said 4 days ago, nice video. I finally have my PSVR on order, and it should be here in a day or 2. Looking forward to trying out these games. And that's a good thing. I'm going to assume that we helped him with that. Thank you for letting us know that you're getting a VR headset. Thank God. You're joining a great number of us. Prepare to be amazed. Get rigs.
The more people who buy it, the more games that will come.
Exactly. For a newcomer, you need to get rigs. You need to get rigs because it's free, as we've talked about. And if you don't know, then you've not been listening to us talk. You need to get Windlands because that has PSVR.
It's Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man, but brilliant. That's got full walking and it's got all the controls you could ever want as far as options. You could be in a cage, you could be floating, you can change your height.
Yep.
That game is that is the most comfortable game on the world. I play it with everything switched off because I'm a nutter. You can see videos of that if you're curious. And if Drive Club is still up, I'd recommend get Drive Club VR as your third sort of step. Because it's cheap, it's cheerful, and it plays really well.
Yeah, it does.
That and Rigs are the best games to play sat down. Because otherwise I feel I have to play standing. Otherwise I lose the immersion, so there's that. And, thank you for joining, and thank you for getting a VR headset.
Yeah.
We'll see you online soon, I expect. And our final comment from the Cubs, Zion Storm. He says, I feel like King Kai watching Goku. And he's talking about me and Mike battling to the death, sometimes, on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, which we try to be good at, and we're not.
We're not.
We're just
slap. Oh.
I'm trying very hard. I'm just not very good at it. I pick up the buttons every now and then, and I have these phases where I'm like really on the ball, and I can remember all of the abilities, and it's absolutely fantastic. And then it's all gone again a few weeks later, and I've completely forgotten what any of it was, and I need to relearn it all over again from the beginning. So,
do you think people who play Street Fighter 5 and that are really good, do they like play other games, or is it just Street Fighter 5?
funnily enough, I think that Dragon Ball Xenoverse is actually quite a unique one because it lets you play by holding down buttons. You press and hold R2 or L2, and depending on if you've got neither of them held down, just R2 held down, or R2 and L2 held down, changes what triangle, circle, X and squared do, doesn't it? So I feel like you can't button bash because you have to know what the combinations are to do them. That's why I like it, because unlike those other ones where I can smash the controller and get away with it, Dragon Ball Xenoverse makes me learn. Makes me go, I have to get a character and I need to learn it, and that's really satisfying. It's also why I only play, as I said, few characters in my videos. But there's that. If you've got anything else to add? So any details or anything coming up that you want to add? No, nothing.
No,
other than the fact that our videos should be daily, and if not, they'll be every other day. This podcast is weekly. Try to get everything up. And that's all we have time for. Thank you for joining us. If you liked any of that, you can join us on Facebook. That's at Facebook Sofa of Adam. That's our group. Patreon at Sofa of Adam if you want to get a cup, which you can see by having a look on one of the earlier videos where we have pictures of that, don't we, Mike?
Yeah, we've got pictures.
We've got pictures of the cup, of me drinking from the cup. You might... And that should be basically, that really is all we have time for. If you want your comment read out, let us know anything we missed or should be talking about, then please leave a comment down below on any of our videos or on our Facebook where we check every day. Mike, you're on the Facebook, aren't you? You check the Facebook and reply and repost and share and all that nonsense. So if you want to speak to Mike, you should go to the Facebook group, which is again Facebook @ or / or whatever it is. Sofa of Adam, very easy to find. There's only us. And we will see you all in the next video.